Hello everybody, welcome to the channel again. Kind of like a continuation on the previous video on what the horse show rules are when you want to show in the Bosal. I want to go over what the rules are in different associations in showing in the romals. They're not all the same. So again, I'm going to start off with AQHA again, American Quarter Horse Association. And let me read to you what the rulebook says. Romal reins means an extension of braided or ramp material attached to a close rein. This extension shall be carried in a free hand with a 16-inch or 40 centimeter spacing between the reining hand and the free hand holding the romal. When using romal reins, the rider's hand shall be around the reins with the wrist kept straight and relaxed, thumb on top, and the fingers closed lightly around the reins. When using a romal, no fingers between the reins are allowed. The free hand may not be used to adjust to the rider's length in any reining class. During reining, the use of the free hand while holding the romal to alter the tension or length of the rein from the bridle to the reining hand is considered to be the use of two hands, and a score of 0 will be applied with the exception of any place where the horse is allowed to be completely stopped during the pattern. In all other classes, including the rein portion of the working cow horse, the boxing, all versatility range horse, and range horse classes, the free hand may be used to adjust the rider's length of rein. In all Western classes except excess reins may be straightened or disentangled anytime during the class, provided the rider's free hand is not used to alter the tension or length of the reins from the bridle to the rein hand. So, what that means is that if you show in a romal, you have your wrist kind of straight and your thumb up, and from the side of your pinky finger, this is what goes back to the bit. Now, there's nothing about dimensions. You can use a long rein, you can use a short rein, you can use rein change, or you can choose not to. The only thing is, you must have 16 inches or 40 centimeters between your rein hand and your free hand. So in this case, I got the two rein button here is here, and when my hand is right behind this long button, I got exactly 16 inches of space of rein between my rein hand and my free hand. Now, it's the distance from here to here. You can write like this, not a problem. But you need to have this amount of rein in between your hands. This is a rule that kind of comes from the reining, because it used to be that you could only adjust or untangle rein, split reins, and therefore also romal reins, if your horse was completely stopped during a pattern where it was allowed. Let's say the hesitation between a run in and back up in a spin, or in between the spins, or in between spins before you do a canter departure, whatever. So in split reins, of course, you like this. And the only way you could untangle your reins was if your horse was completely stopped. So during this hesitation, if you did this to untangle your reins, which would be legal when your horse was standing still and you did it while the horse was in motion, it was penalty score 0. You're disqualified and you're out of the game. So they said, well, let's stake 16 inches so those romal guys can't cheat on us as much as when it would be this, which is way easier to cheat. So in that case, the NRHA, the National Reining Horse Association, and American Quarter Horse Association are identical. Now, for all other classes except reining, okay, even in the rein work of a cow horse, AQHA cow horse class, or the reins training in a versatility reins horse, you can use your free hand on the romal at any time to change the length of your rein. But you have to have a minimum of 16 inches of rein between your two hands. So that's basically where American Quarter Horse Association and National Reining Horse Association are the same. For the reining, for all the other classes, there's a little bit of difference. Although I no longer hold judging privileges for American Paint Horse Association, I am pretty sure that those reins, those reining rules and what have you, are still the same. Now, I should also say that for the versatility and range horse classes and for the cow horse classes in AQHA, if you have never been down the fence on your horse, let's say you only showed it in range riding or what have you, reining, boxing even, if you've never been going down the fence, for AQHA, the first year, regardless of the age of the horse, you can still show in a 2-rein. 2-rein, of course, like we all know, you got a small bossolita underneath your brattle bit, and you got Macati reins, and you got the romal reins. The point is that if you do that, all of a sudden, because it said in the rule that your hand needs to be like this, lightly closed. I mean, you don't have to, grab on a fist or something, but your hand needs to be close. If you do this, it's real easy to cheat, and no fingers can be in between the reins when you show in the romal, except when you're doing a 2-rein. In the 2-rein, you got your Macati reins also in your rein hand, but you can do whatever it takes either on the Macati reins or on the romal reins to help your horse out, because that's why that rule was designed. So if you go down the fence for the first time, be it in a versatility range horse or be it in the cow horse, that you could still help your horse just a little bit, should that be necessary. But of course, if you've done all your homework right, it is not necessary, because by that time, your horse should be good on the bridle, one-handed. Now, for NRCHA, the National Reining Cow Horse Association, the rules are a little different. And I'll read to you what the rule book for the National Reining Cow Horse Association says about this. Reins with romal on bridle are required. That means that the only time that you're allowed to use a split rein in a National Reining Cow Horse Association class is on a snaffle bit. Every time you got a bridle bit, you can only show in romal reins. The reins can be held in either hand with hand around the reins in the fist position with thumbs up. The non-rein hand must be on the romal. The keeper or hobble that attaches the romal to the reins is considered to be part of the romal. The non-rein hand is not allowed at any time to touch reins, or a score of 0 will be applied. The rider is allowed to shorten the reins while the horse is in motion as long as their hands are held in a legal manner. No fingers are permitted between the reins and bridle classes except in 2-rein. In the hurt work and boxing classes only, romal reins can be held in one hand. Roping reins are optional in the steer stopping. What does that say? Well, first of all, you know, this is a Dorn style rein, but like here, this is like a connecting hobble here, as you can see. This part is considered part of the romal, and your free hand needs to be on the romal or here. For NRCHA, there's no 16 inches rule. None whatsoever. You can ride like this and you'll be fine. And you can work your rein, you know, the way you need to or choose to, whatever. Again, no fingers between the rein except in the 2-rein. But this is an important thing. So nothing 16 inches. You can have however long this amount of rein between your hands as you want to. The only thing is, your free hand needs to be on the romal, which is from the rein on down, including the hobble or the connector, and your rein hand is there. Now, what they're saying in that rule is, if I'm riding like this and I'm completely doing whatever the rule says, my hand cannot, my free hand cannot go on the rein, or that will be a score of 0. Now let me go back here just to see that nothing. Nope. I covered it all. And then it says here something for equipment on 2-rein classes. In a 2-rein class, bozels may be of any size, constructed of braided rawhide leather, have non-metal flexible cord. Okay. Rider must use one hand on the reins. Fingers between the reins is permitted. So like I said, you can get fingers in between the reins. You cannot go 2 hands on them. Not even in a 2-rein. That's basically it. What I wanted to cover on the romal reins. Now, again, here's something from a rider's point of view. Okay, if you have reins and romals with a lot of feel, you can still keep your arm, your free hand arm, pretty still, and you can still do a lot. Just make sure judges don't see it. And if you got a judge in the chair that's used to doing this, like myself, don't do it for judges like that, because we have a tendency to catch in and give you a score 0. Something else I wanted to say. This is 16 inches. 16 inches is not a lot. There's absolutely no good reason to hold your romal like this. Or, as I've seen, God forbid, do it like this. If you can't ride any different and that romal upsets you or is in your way that much, just don't use the romal and use split reins and be done with it. The point is, if you go around like this, or God forbid, like this, you're going to look like a guzzle or a dink, and you're not going to be taken serious. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody walks in the pen with a score 70. And it's pretty much in every class, except for maybe the unseated equitation, but the whole romal deal is there not relevant. But in the horsemanship, it's also a little different. Pretty much every other class, you walk in with a 70. Now, everybody walks in with a 70. But the difference is that the folks sitting there to judge, they're human beings, okay? If you come in and you look like you did not do your homework and you don't know how a certain piece of equipment is supposed to be used, it's going to take a little while longer before they're take you as serious as somebody that comes in and obviously has done their homework and comes in with an attitude, hey, Judge, watch me, be ready to pay because I'm here to win. So, that being said, if you got any questions, you can either shoot me a message on Facebook or in the comments down below. I would appreciate it if you'd press the like button if you liked what I'm doing here, and hit that subscribe button.